Hey everyone, it's Chris, your Borderline Sloth, and today we are playing a game called Assemble with Care. The premise is when Maria, a globe-trotting antique restorer, arrives in the sun-soaked town of Bellariva, she has no idea just how broken it will turn out to be. She wants nothing more than to help the town's inhabitants save their most beloved possessions, but when it's their personal lives that are starting to fracture, she'll need to find a way to hold them together, one spare screw at a time. I have no idea what this is going to entail. I know it has some little puzzles and stuff, which I'm sure will be us fixing things. And we'll go from there. We'll see how it is. I'm looking forward to it. It seems like a nice little chill game, which we always enjoy here. So let's get to it. All right, so we're starting straight out with a cassette tape and like a little Walkman. Been seeing a lot of that in these games I've been playing recently, this little throwback. So I don't know if this is going to be like something set in the past or if that's just what things are about right now. So, okay, plug that right on in here. The game is best played with sound. Well, we're gonna play with sound for sure. Yeah, we'll play with sound. We'll mess around with the sound, see if we can do this without blasting our ears out. All right. Okay, assemble with care. New chapter added. Let us begin.
After a year on the road, I thought I'd get tired of traveling. The endless clatter of railways, highways, and everything in between. But as my train pulled into the station at Bellariva, I felt every bit as excited as the first day of my journey. A whole year. It felt like a lifetime. The places I'd seen, the people I'd met, of course, the forgotten treasures I'd given a new lease of life along the way. I'm a restorer by trade. Bringing our most beloved possessions back to life is what I love to do. I'd been traveling for months, working my way from one town to the next, fixing everything from family heirlooms to VCRs.
Now, kids, VCRs are these old devices that we used to put video cassettes in to watch movies. And if you don't know what a video cassette is, that means nothing to you. Oh man, I want that's some of these games have really they do these throwbacks to things I grew up with, but I'm getting old, It's how many if you're a teenager would how many teenagers now have even seen a VCR or know what a VCR is or what it's for? I mean, I would think that it's it's a very rare thing to come across, I would think that. I grew up with that and DVDs when those came out, I was I got my first DVD player when right after I graduated high school. So I don't know. It's technology has advanced very quickly. So I wonder, I really wonder for people who are much younger than I, how many do you know what a VCR is? If you're watching this and you're I don't know, mid-20s or below or younger, just do you know what a VCR is? Have you used a VCR? Something like that. Drop it in the comments. I'm actually really curious because, I don't feel like I'm older, but I know I am, and my mind is still thinking I'm, 20 years younger than I am. So yeah. Let me know in the comments because I actually am really curious as to whether you know what a VCR is. Have you used a VCR? Did you grow up and there was still a VCR in your house? I know some people still have them. but I just know it's a much rarer thing, and just like with like a rotary phone, it's like a lot of people don't know how to use a rotary phone, but I don't know. It's one of those things that it's interesting as time has gone by. Just like I grew up, not like we didn't grow up with a computer in the house. Like we didn't have a computer in the house until I was in middle school, and then like the internet was not this huge thing. We were using America Online. You had 10 hours for the month, and it was slow. So I don't know. Let me know. Let me know in the comments. I really want to know.
Bellariva was my chance to take a break. Unfortunately, that would have to wait until after I'd unpacked.
Unpack. Okay, let's unpack. Click the suitcase to pick it up. Okay, I clicked it to pick it up. Now what? Click on the class to open them. Okay. Boink. And boink. I don't know what this symbol means, but hey.
The tools of my trade. No hope of restoring things without these.
I'll put those there.
My favorite overalls. These will never go out of style. My parents took this after I made my first repair. It seems like a lifetime ago. Looking forward to taking more close-ups of my fingers with this.
And yeah, yeah. I don't know when this is supposed to be set, but like we've got a looks like a disposable camera. Yeah.
I'll hand these out once I'm settled in. Fingers crossed they get me some work. I saw a guitarist wearing these at a show once. Rock and roll repair woman, at your service. I picked up these sunglasses on my last stop. Hopefully I'm cool enough to pull them off.
Congratulations. We unpacked a suitcase.
Finally, I'd made it to Bellariva. I'd come for the food festival, taking place in a few days' time. After living off TV dinners and instant ramen for the last few months, I was craving a decent meal. Of course, I'd need to earn enough money to pay for it, so I figured I'd head out the next day and find some work. My parents never wanted me to go. They wanted me to stay in their shop and have a simple, stationary life. I knew there was a world out there, beyond the four walls of our antique store, that I had to be a part of. I daydreamed constantly about the weird and wonderful places each of our antiques came from. I loved figuring out their stories, revealing the memories hidden beneath the screws and wires. My story in Bellariva began with a little girl and a voice she was longing to hear.
Okay, so we're out there seeing the world, which, I wish I was able to see more of. I've seen a lot of the United States, but I haven't been able to travel outside of the States, so that would be something I'd want to do someday if I could ever get over not wanting to be around people. Lullaby.
It was my first morning in Bellariva, and I couldn't wait to leave my hotel and explore. It was a quiet town, its streets and alleyways basking peacefully in the hot morning sun. In the main square, meanwhile, preparations were underway for the festival in a few days' time. As I handed out my flyers, I wondered what the people of Bellariva would need me to fix. So far, everything here seemed perfect. I was starting to worry I'd made a mistake when I felt someone tapping me on the back.
Hi, I'm Izzy. Do you know how to fix things?
It was a little girl, maybe 7 years old, who must have gotten hold of one of my flyers. She rummaged around in her backpack until she hauled out a battered red cassette deck.
My tape is broken and I can't make it work anymore. I tried to fix it myself, but there's this metal thing in the way. Can you try?
Sure, let's fix this ancient piece of technology. I really, I do wish on this that they would have given some sort of context as the time period and why it's set in that time or anything like that. Because, I mean, it's definitely a choice that they made for the game, for the items that we're gonna be fixing and messing around with and stuff like that. So it's, I don't know. I kind of wish I knew what that was all about. So, all right, so back in the day, we would have these cassette tapes that you would play your music on, and sometimes you didn't want to rewind them using your tape deck or whatever, so you just kind of use a little pencil to.
Why did you do that?
Oops, get back there. There we go.
How did
Wind
you
it
do
back
that?
up.
I
Yeah.
didn't see.
Okay. We got over here. So yeah, you could use a pencil to wind the tape back up or rewind the tape. The nifty things we could do with a just it's so weird to like why I don't. Okay. Okay.
Still not working. Something else must be wrong.
Well, yeah, we haven't really fixed anything. Oops. Put that there. Oh, okay. Oh, that's how we do it. Just have to figure out how to turn things around. Okay. Boink, boink.
Aha! Those batteries look like they need replacing. Luckily, I have some spares.
All right, kid. There's this thing called batteries, and if your tape doesn't work, maybe check to see if your batteries will. Hey, get back here. There to there. No, go back in.
Will you dream a dream for me? If I sit by your side and hold you so tight, know that I will always love you, even though we both know that we must say goodnight. Good night, my darling.
So, is this what's considered like a bit of a puzzle for for kids? where they've never seen a cassette recorder, so like the cassette being rewound, would that present a challenge? I'm trying to
When
gauge
it
things
finished,
here.
Izzy picked up the tape deck and tucked it carefully into her backpack.
Thanks, Maria. You're the best person at fixing things ever.
No problem. Who was that singing? They're very good.
It's my mum. She's not here anymore.
Izzy trailed off. It was the kind of silence a cassette tape would never be enough to fill.
Damn, you didn't have to get all depressing.
When Izzy's friends called for her, she dug deep into her pockets, looking for something to pay me with. Eventually, she produced a grand total of a stick of gum, 3 mismatched buttons, and a yo-yo. I usually preferred a check, but Izzy looked so serious, I wrote out a full receipt. She seemed like a happy kid, but beneath it all, part of her life had been shattered. A part I wouldn't be able to fix.
So we're just gonna get slammed with these people's depressing stories. So great. This isn't what I signed up for. Oh, man.
My first repair complete, I spent the rest of the day doing small jobs in and around the square. I was exhausted when I got back to my hotel and found a message asking me to make one more visit. The address led me to a quaint little house, a stone's throw from the beach. Bathed in the evening light, it looked beautiful, in spite of its flaking paintwork and chipped tiles. The front door was opened by a harried-looking man, still dressed from a long day at the office.
Are you Maria? My name's Joseph. I'm Isabel's father. I'm so sorry she bothered you this morning. Please, come in. I'd like to settle up properly.
On the mantelpiece, I saw the remains of a broken statue. Without thinking, I picked up a fragment.
Ah, my father's statue. What's left of it, at least. Yet another way I'd have disappointed him. It survived 100 years in this family. But 5 minutes with Isabel and... Do you think you can salvage it?
Sure, why not? Let's do this. Okay. Little puzzle here. Put him
Will you
over
be
here.
able to see the glue afterwards? I don't want people seeing the cracks.
So that's gonna go there. Okay.
Is this glue really strong enough to hold everything together?
We will find out. It's a pedestal. Okay. Get back here.
Sometimes I think my daughter should come with a warning label.
Ta-da!
Thank you, Maria. It looks as perfect as it ever did. My father wanted me to make something of myself. He didn't have time for anything less.
As Joseph put the statue back on the shelf, it nudged against the family portrait stood proudly next to it. So he was Bellariva's mayor. And that was Izzy's mom. They must both miss her so much.
Sorry, I'm a little tired. I've been working late getting things sorted for the festival. There's only a few days to go. Looks like I'll be working late. Again?
When I told my parents I wanted to leave, they always found an excuse to be busy, to avoid talking about it. I guess keeping themselves occupied was their way of pretending it wasn't happening. Joseph's work must have been taking up so much of his time. But maybe that was what he wanted. I just hoped he was finding enough time for Izzy, too. My second day in Bellariva dawned bright and clear. Another beautiful sunny morning.
Okay, so far we've met a couple of characters in this town, right? The mayor and the mayor's child, and we know that the mother is gone, so we'll see what kind of more sadness we can get out of this.
Walking into town, I passed cafes overflowing with customers cradling their morning coffees. I stopped, breathing in the smell of roasted coffee beans and freshly baked pastries. I was about to go inside when the owner of Carmen's, the cafe next door, stopped me.
Hello, Maria? Were you here yesterday handing out flyers? I have a job for you.
Her place was petite, tucked between its competitors as if hoping they wouldn't notice. Judging by the empty tables inside, though, her potential customers hadn't noticed it either.
It's a bit slow today, but we're just getting started. I'm sure it'll pick up soon.
As Carmen chatted, she walked over to the counter and returned with an old rotary phone.
Weren't we just talking about that? Oh, here's another thing. Alright, youngsters that are watching this, do you know how to use an old rotary phone? Do you know, without seeing it, what an old rotary phone is? So the question is, though, let us make myself just a little bit smaller here. There we go. That seems better. I'm not blocking out too much.
At least I've got plenty of time to practice my recipe for the festival. It's a new special I've been working on. I was hoping to call my sister for some, seasoning tips, but it won't connect. Can you see if you can figure out what's wrong?
Sure, we can try that. Alright, so, for those not in the know, this is an old rotary phone. And you'd have to put your finger, like say your number you're dialing was 653. You do the 6, spin it around, let it go. 5, all the way to the spot, let it go. 3, all the way to the spot, let it go. Yeah. Those were the days. Put
You
that
can
over
fix
there.
it, can't you? I can't afford to replace it.
Well, let me look at it first. Come on. Let's flip this over. Let's unscrew some things.
Obviously, we'd normally be much busier than this.
This I don't think we need anymore, right? There's nothing there that I can see that we need, so let's put that aside. So now we need to put this one, right? Let's break this down some more. Take that off. Alright, so we're looking at the pieces, right? And this is obviously all types of burnt out, so we're gonna put that over there. We're gonna put the new one in. Okay, we got attach a wire. Okay, we're missing a wire, but we got a wire up here. Let's attach. Oops, nope. Go back. That to that,
Looks like
because we
this
have
new
the
circuit
phone
board
to
is all
phone,
hooked up.
bell to bell. Oops. Let's rotate this around. We've got ourselves a broken bell, I guess we would call them, right? Take that off, put that there, put a new one there. Okay. We can put that back on. Get ourselves a screw, put it in there, put it in there, put this back on. Rotate it around. We are speeding through this. This is how we fix things, yeah. Make it feel like we're being handy and helpful. Now, when I was little, or
There's still
I
a
don't
part
know
I need
little,
to
but
attach. Where does it go?
when I was younger, there was a phase I went through that all my little electronic toys that I wasn't really using anymore, I would dismantle them. But I wouldn't fix them. I wouldn't put them back together. I'd just take them apart. Just to see what they looked like inside.
When I handed the phone back to Carmen, she seemed almost reluctant to take it from me.
So how about you? Did you take things apart as a child, or maybe you still take things apart, or do you do that for a living? Let me know. It's always interesting.
So it's all working now, is it? I don't have to leave it to dry or let it cool down?
Nope, it's ready to go. It'll be ringing off the hook in no time.
You just gotta remember, plug it back into the wall.
That's if I can pay my phone bill, anyway. And the rent, and the suppliers. Anyway, take a seat and I'll be right with you. Your coffee's on the house.
I sat at one of the empty tables, while at the counter, Carmen had started dialing the phone.
Hello? How's my favourite sister doing today?
As she talked, Carmen became more and more tense. This didn't seem like a call for some cooking advice.
I know I still owe you from last time, but I can't afford to take part in the festival if I don't pay.
I could almost feel the eye roll at the other end of the line.
You don't need to be here, though. Can't you just put the check in the post?
When the call ended, Carmen brought me my coffee, her hands trembling.
Sorry about that. My sister's decided to fly in for a visit. Oh God, I have to get ready. Actually, I might have another job for you. Can you come by tomorrow?
Sure we can. Okay, so far we've got a child whose mother is, I'm guessing, dead. A father who is trying to run this town as a single parent. We've got a shopkeeper who is having financial problems, and their shop is the little restaurant cafe is going to just go into the ground, and now they're having to worry about borrowing money. It all falls apart.
The next day, I'd promised Carmen I'd return to help her get the cafe ready for her sister's arrival. I was about to set out when I received an unexpected call from my hotel's reception desk. Apparently, another guest had asked for me by name. Curious, I took the creaking elevator up to the top floor and made my way to the room number they'd given. I knocked.
Are you here about the camera? It's about time.
Psh, excuse me?
The woman in front of me was immaculate. Not a hair out of place or a crease to be seen.
My sister tells me you know how to fix things. I'd usually go to an expert, of course, but in this town...
So this was Carmen's sister?
Makes sense.
The two
now.
of them couldn't have been more different. Inside her room, I saw a beautiful reflex camera. Any professional photographer's dream.
The viewfinder is completely dark. I can't see anything through it at all. I assume you can figure out what's wrong?
Well, I mean, the attitude can go, you know. This attitude, you know, you have this equipment, maybe you should learn how to fix it. Or at least do basic repairs on it. My goodness. Okay, so let's look at what we got here.
You need the manual.
Well, you have the manual and you didn't fix it, so you can just shove off. Okay, so we're gonna have to see what is wrong there. Put that there. Okay, let's open this up. Let's go ahead and... Okay. I wish it wouldn't automatically put the screwdriver down after that. Okay. Dismantle this.
I don't suppose you've fixed anything this valuable before.
Okay, so the mirror. Just go in there.
If I use the screwdriver, I could adjust the angle of the mirror.
Oh, there we go. There we go.
Perfect. Now the viewfinder should be working.
Okay, so now we can put that back. Let's see, and then we had that. Screw that in. Rotate, there we go. That's the hole we're looking for. That around. Oops. And we'll screw that in. Oops. Screw that in. And yet, this is another thing. A camera that uses actual film. Story time, boys and girls. Back in the day, we used to have to
Looks
put...
like something is still missing.
Okay, how's it wanting us to do this? That should go there. Oops, nope, go there. It's gonna let us, or is it just gonna make us do this? See, it should have made us pull that across to get it started, because it just wasn't that easy. So back in the day, boys and girls, you'd put film in the back there, and that little canister there, you'd have pulled that little strip of film and started the feed over there. That way, when you took a picture, you would wind it, and it would wind right here. You would wind it, and it'd wind the film out, and then when it was all done, you'd pop it into you'd rewind it all the way back in. You pull it out, pop it into a little canister, which people now use to store their marijuana. They put their stash in that now, so I guess they must still exist.
I felt a pang of envy as I handed the camera to Helena. I put my disposable to shame.
Well, it's a disposable. You're gonna run out pretty quickly on your pictures, then you're gonna have to get another one.
I picked it up on my first trip to Paris. It's a 1958 limited edition, the first of its kind. It cost me 3 months' salary, but it was worth it.
That is one thing. Cameras, like good cameras, they've like always have cost a lot, and they still cost a lot.
I had no idea what 3 months' salary meant to Helena, but I was pretty sure it was more than I could afford. It was strange, really, that we were even staying in the same hotel. I'd picked this place because it was cheap and cheerful, but surely she could afford somewhere better? She took some test shots, fiddling with the camera settings until she was absolutely satisfied.
This work is immaculate. At least there's one person in this town who knows what they're doing. Sending you to me might be the first thing Carmen's actually gotten right.
I wondered why Helena had bothered coming if she thought so little of her sister.
Because people like that like to rub it in. And they like to show that they are superior to those around them. And you can't do that from a distance.
I hear nothing from her for weeks, and then when she finally does call me, all she wants is money. If she thinks I'm lending her another penny, she'll have to convince me it's not a total waste of time.
That didn't sound good. If Hurricane Helena was about to hit, I hoped Carmen was ready.
Okay, so that was part 1 of Assemble with Care. Join us next time for part 2. Remember, hit like, subscribe, ring the little notification bell, and we will talk to you later. Remember to stay like a sloth and keep on hanging on. Thanks.